Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Wanted to give everyone a quick update. We've recently had our third child and we're out on leave for a week from our regular work to help make sure everybody gets taken care of. We got the kids home. There's one of them. The other one's inside with mama, the other two actually. But it is a false spring. We're at 70 degrees, and while I've got a little bit of downtime, I've got a lot to do. So I want to give everybody an update today on all those things. Also, time permitting, we're going to try to get the pigs out on pasture today because they're doing some damage over there in the chicken run area. And I think they're just getting restless because there's not a whole lot for them to do in there. So we're going to see if we can get them moved out today as well. The first thing is actually all of our seed starts. I decided to move them out in the sun, out of the garage so they can get some actual sunlight, and I don't want to get too much of that white mildewy moldy mess. But we've got our strawberries doing pretty good. They're starting to come out of dormancy. We've had a lot of our tomatoes starting. The marigolds have come up really nice, and our bell peppers haven't sprouted yet, but they take a little longer anyways. Hey Eden, are you excited to have a baby sister?
Yeah, and I'm excited I got my ears pierced.
Oh, you got your ears pierced?
Yeah, and I got new earrings.
All right, so first things first, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of the damage that they're doing. And it's not like major damage. I mean, they're rooting like you would think they would, and they're not necessarily at risk of getting out. However, what they're doing is actually throwing mulch and stuff up on top of the hot wire, and that is not good. Hello ladies and piggies, how we doing? How we doing, piggies? Wagging them little tails. All right, so I've gone over here and scooped the stuff out, but this is where they're throwing up dirt and stuff, where they've been digging up the dirt on the edges. So I'm gonna have to get them out of here. What, baby? What did you made? Okay, let's go see what you made. All right, let's go see what you made.
Ta-da!
Oh wow, did you make that with your bucket?
I made that with this bucket.
Oh, that's pretty good. Gonna destroy it now? Oh no! All right, so the first thing we got to do for the pigs is actually figure out where we're going to put them, mark that off, and get some hot wire up. I had originally thought I might use some of the nets, but the chicken nets, I just don't think I got enough to run the chickens and the pigs, and I can't put them together because of the issues with them eating each other's food. So I'm going to split them up, and I'm going to go ahead and move the pigs out now, and then let the chickens free range the field during the day. But I'm gonna actually try the pigs with just a couple strands of poly wire and plastic T-posts. You getting it? There you do. All right, so the trick is I want to tap off my hot fence, my hot wire that we got up over here. Oh, there. And I want to keep them kind of close up here to the chicken run in case this doesn't work out and I need to get them back in there. So I think I'm gonna try and measure out an area up in this flat up here. That way we've got plenty of room. We'll see how it goes, and I can get them easily back in there if we need to. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually get some measurements. I want to figure out about how much 50 feet off of this fence is, and then I can kind of gauge about how much space. I'm trying to follow the numbers that Joel Salatin recommends on giving spacing. Even though I'm using smaller pigs, I'm going to just use that as a baseline for about how much space to get my pigs. And if I remember right, that's about, I think he said 48, 49 square yards per pig or something of that nature. right, so I got my little area set up here. I think this will work. I think that'll work nicely. That ought to be more than enough room. So the next thing I need to do is actually get the pig shelter out of there and out here. And then I'll go get my poly wire and run it around this. Mr. T is being awful noisy over there. Great job, Eden. Alright, so the next thing I got to do is actually get my poly wire on a spool. And I decided to buy an expensive extension cord reel instead of one of the real, an inexpensive extension cord reel instead of one of the really expensive actual poly wire reels. Alright, we got 2 rolls spooled. Let's go see how this goes. We're gonna go ahead and start stringing fence around. Alright, so I had to break for lunch, but got all the fence up. I ran 2 wires around. I was hoping to run a third, but I didn't quite have enough wire for that, so we just ran 2. I've let it set for the last, I guess, probably about 45 minutes, just to make sure that it's gonna, hold up like it's supposed to, at least temporary. We'll see long-term how it goes. And it looks like I'll probably need maybe 2 more posts, but the rest of my posts are up there around my raised garden bed. To keep the cats out because they were using it like a litter box. So I'll probably have to go up there at some point and steal me a few of those and bring them down here. But it's up off the ground for now and it's putting out a pretty good charge. That's actually another little project. I got another grounding rod that I need to install. So I'm gonna try and get that done today too, and that ought to help. It's doing pretty good, but once it gets a little bit dry out, it's not carrying a good charge. And I think that's completely due to the grounding rod. So I'm going to add another grounding rod today and hopefully we'll get a good charge. Before we even do the grounding rod though, we're going to try and get these guys moved in. So I'm actually going to cheat. Well, I say cheat. I think it's a smart way of doing it. I brought a little bit of food with me and I'm going to actually try and lure them in here with food. The good news is where I'm opening them up to, I have my perimeter fence and then I have this little paddock that I've made today. So if they get out, it's not the end of the world. They're pretty well food trained, so I think I can just shake the bucket and get them to come to me. But we're going to test that theory. I'm not ready for you. So I actually just dropped the wire on the ground here. I think it'll blend in enough that they won't see it and they'll come right over the top. And then once they're in, I'll go back down and rehook up the hot wire and we'll kind of watch and see how they do. All right, and we're in. Like I said, they'll pretty much chase the food. One other thing I think I'm gonna go ahead and do, if I've got a piece big enough to do it, is I'm gonna put a back on this. Now one thing, the area that I put them was heavily frequented, I believe, by the goats that were on this property before us. And so a lot of this is just, you know, desolate ground. But the goats haven't been on it for about 8 months now. And so I figure I'll start here, give this a little bit of a grazing, but we've got all this green out here too. So I'm hoping that this is where they'll really spend their time. And this is a much bigger area than they need. So there will always be at least one chicken that manages to hide its eggs from you. I've got, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 down there. Now based on how small that is and how small those eggs are, I'll be willing to bet that's my chicken tiny. Look at there. All right, I guess I'm gonna start the long, arduous process of driving one of these grounding rods. All right, so we got this down here about as far as I care to keep driving it. All right, so all I'm doing is adding a second ground rod here. I'm gonna run a insulated wire from the other ground rod to this one. All right, I got my ground wires hooked up. Looking pretty good. We'll keep an eye on that over time and see how well it does. But hopefully that'll help improve a little bit. But look at those pigs. Those are happy pigs on pasture, I tell you. All the tails just a wagging. And the grass is good for them too. They've been non-stop on that grass since I put them out here. All right, I gotta run my daughter to the dentist, but I've got some more stuff I'm hoping to still get done this evening. Still gotta try to get a back on this thing, so. And I gotta get some straw in there for them a little bit, because we're gonna be here for a couple of days and it's gonna get really rainy and nasty here soon. They've been in here for a few hours and they seem to still be enjoying it. I still haven't had a chance to get that wall put up, but I'm about to get a measurement on it and see if I can't get a piece of metal for that. So I found my piece. This piece has been laying over here in the building since I bought the property, and it is almost exactly the dimensions I need. So it's a hair short, but we're gonna make it work. It's like, literally it's like a ½ inch short. So we're gonna make it work either way, but this is why I have a hard time throwing stuff away. And there we go. Got our back on it. I think that'll make them good and happy. I'm happy with it. Are you guys happy with it? All right, Noah wants to help me, so we're gonna let him help. Do one last thing this evening. Here we go. Now see the rooster? Turn around, look to your left. Yeah, there's your rooster. You gotta watch him. Oh, wait. Remember, that's hot. All right, the last thing we're gonna do is put some straw bedding in here. All right. Here's what we're gonna do, buddy. You ready? You gonna throw this in here?
Yeah.
There you go. Pick it up and throw it in there. Good job.
Let's do other
Good job. All right, we're gonna leave that one. Well, chickens like the straw too. Look, the chickens like the straw. There it is. You say hello?
Hello.
All right, so we're gonna finish up the day with beautiful mama and beautiful baby. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, surprisingly.
Yeah. How's baby doing?
She's snoozing away, enjoying some sun, what's left of it out here.
Yeah. Got the whole family outside for a few minutes.
It's been nice. The last day for a while.
Yeah. It's gonna be nasty the rest of the week. Well, thanks for joining us today. Have a good rest of your day. See you next time.